Well, Patrick, I saw you rolling in, and I thought, oh, yeah, that's a really nice little Datsun. It's 1600, 2000 Fairlady. But I'm starting to look at it. There's all sorts of mods on it. I'm like,
Yes, sir.
I got to talk to this cat.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you.
Well, so did you do all this? Because this is really quite a mod here.
I've done most of the work myself.
Man,
it's a labor of love.
Yeah,
without
must
question.
be.
Yes, sir.
So what year?
This is a 67 Datsun 1600 Fairlady.
Okay, so that's how it started life.
That's how it started life.
And was the 1600 the first of this body style?
Yes.
And then it became the 2000.
And then it became the 2000.
And then it was the 240Z, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
That is correct.
The lineage.
You know your history?
I do. I do.
You're a Datsun man. Yes, sir.
But man, and they're good-looking cars. I always thought they looked a lot like a TR4.
Yes.
You know, they really did.
Little like an MG.
Little like an MG?
Yes, sir.
But they you modified this thing like crazy. So you're flared. Are these
Yes.
like, is that a body kit or are they fiberglass or what?
So this is a wide body kit, but it's all metal.
Really?
So all molded in.
Wow.
The body man did a beautiful job with this.
Gosh, I'll say.
Yes.
And
yes,
is it lowered?
the car is lowered.
It is?
It's
Okay.
on coilovers.
Holy cow. And
Yes,
what are the
sir.
wheels? Because they just look
It's
fantastic.
a BBS replica wheel. They fit perfectly on the car. It was
Great.
It was a great choice. It was a great choice. So they turned out wonderfully well. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you lowered it, but is it still sitting on a 1600 platform or not?
Partially.
Kinda.
1600. Partially. So this.
What else is in there?
So it's got a lot going on
lot going
underneath
on.
here. Yeah, a lot of suspension modifications, wildwood brakes. It's got K824 modern Nissan drivetrain transmission. It's got a Miata rear end, 4-link suspension. We've done some cutting and modifying the frame so the car is a little wider by an inch than it originally was to outfit the wide body, the wheels. And it really turned out to be a really nice project. Yes,
and
sir.
the cockpit's great too.
Yes, sir.
And the seats, I love how they come up because they look really, you have some support here actually. They look
Yes,
really comfortable. What are they out of?
The seats are out of a Miata, recovered by cat skins. The dash is all auto meter. Molded in really
real
nicely.
Classic look too.
Yes,
classic analog look.
Kept the classic look with just a little flair. Yes,
now how about this? Would this have been, a hollow part in the 1600?
This would have been a hollow part in the 1600. Correct. So this is just considered extra space. So this is where you keep all your cleaning products.
and it's very clean. I must say,
Thank you
very
very much.
clean.
Thank you very much.
And
I appreciate it.
How about the toggle switches? Was that?
The toggle switches were added, but the toggle switches work the headlights, it works the fog lights, the wipers, the heater, so the ventilation system all works on those toggle switches.
Which is another really classic touch.
Yes.
I mean, the toggles just.
I tried to keep it modern, but old school, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
Yes,
and I think you pulled it off totally.
Well, thank you.
The padded dash 1600s didn't have padded dash.
No, they did not. They did not have a padded dash.
So is that a Miata dash, basically?
That is not a Miata dash. It's the original dash from the 1600, just all re-outfitted with some modern day stuff.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So did you have to send that out to have that done? I mean, that's a pretty professional looking.
I actually sent that out to an upholstery shop in Georgia.
No kidding.
Yes.
And they sent that back. Man, they do good work.
They sent
I'm
that
telling
back
you.
and they did good work. You're right. Yes, sir.
But you get back here and this is like stock Fairlady, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
You've
The back
obviously
end is-
re-chromed it and everything?
Yes, got the bumpers re-chromed, got a little exhaust work done. But
just a little
just
exhaust.
a little. But the rear end of the car is exactly as it was in 1967.
And these were always, they're small, they're low down, but once you drop it, this is really
It's
down.
tiny.
It's tiny,
It's
man.
tiny. But you know what? It drives great. It has the feel of a larger car when you're behind the wheel.
Is it pretty tight?
It's pretty tight. It's got the electronic rack and pinion steering. So it's an old car with a modern day feel.
Man,
yes, sir.
Well, let's go look at that engine.
Sure. All right.
Well, that ain't no 1600.
That's not a 1600.
Man, that is a tight fit, man.
That is a tight fit.
So what's this out of, Patrick?
So this is out of a 240SX.
Oh, okay.
So it's a K824 modern day Nissan 16 valve twin cam engine.
Dual overhead cam?
Dual overhead cam.
Are these headers too, or is that the factory exhaust?
This is the factory exhaust, factory intake. Got a couple of motorsport cams in, so it has a little bit of power. The car is making about 2.5 times the power it made when it was
Stock.
back in
Wow.
1967.
Wow. So any idea what it's putting out?
So right now, this engine at the crank is producing 212 horsepower.
For a car that weighs...
For a car that weighs
2400
exactly 2180.
Oh, man.
So it's got a little...
It's a rocket
Got a
ship.
little power, yes sir.
Oh,
got
man.
a little power. It'll get out of the way, yes sir.
Does it turn heads? I gotta believe people dig this car.
You know, everywhere I go, it's a conversation.
Well, I gotta
So
believe it.
it's a great conversation piece, yes sir.
Is that radiator enough to keep it cool?
That radiator is enough to keep it cool.
Wow,
So
that is impressive.
100-degree day, the car's still sitting at 180 on the
Wow.
temp gauge.
You know, and she
beautiful.
sits up really high. I'm surprised it clears, the hood comes down
Just
over it.
barely.
Just barely.
Just barely, but it's just perfect. Yes,
Man,
sir.
oh man, oh man. This is really slick, Patrick. I gotta believe it's just a blast.
It is a blast to drive, and even better is the conversation that this car brings about.
Oh, man, I gotta believe it.
Because
Yeah.
many people just have never heard of this particular model
That's
car.
right. You know, people aren't aware of the 1600s and 2000s.
Yes, sir.
You know, they became aware of Datsun with the 240Zs.
Exactly.
And before that,
Exactly.
it was like, I don't know.
What did they have?
Yeah, I don't
well,
know.
this was it.
This was it.
This was it.
And
yes,
these
sir.
really were the, you know, what
This is what
beget
led
the
to
the 240.
This is
Yeah.
what led to Nissan and sports cars.
So where are you from?
I'm originally from South Louisiana, but I live in Metro Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
cool,
sir.
Cool.
Yes,
so
sir.
have you ever been down to Cruisin the Coast before?
Yes, I come every year.
Every year, good for
Every
you.
year I bring a different
Isn't
car.
it a fun time?
It is a blast, man. I've had a blast. I'm not sure I want it to end. Let it go on for another week.
Yeah, why not? What the
Yes,
heck?
sir.
Well, if not, let's just do it again next year.
Absolutely.
Well, this is killer.
Thank you.
1967, 1600 Fairlady that's had a little bit of work.
Just a little.
Little bit of work.
Just a
Man,
little.
this is cool.
Dennis,
Thanks,
thank you.
buddy.
I appreciate it.